But there's also something else that's taken me by surprise, and this is my handmade eucalyptus oil. And I harvest the leaves from a tree at the bottom of my garden, and I make this amazing eucalyptus oil. And I was making it because people might know it's for decongestants, colds, a bit like Vicks, which has got probably petroleum jelly in it, but natural. And it was able to, you know, remove mucus and help with colds and coughs on the lungs when you rub it into the skin, chest and the back. And I started to discover amazing things about this oil because other people wanted to use this oil, but they started using it on their bodies. And people with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, any type of inflammation, joint pain, and it's also great for muscle pain and quick recovery after exercise to use the oil. And a lady uses it on her husband as well when he's, you know, playing tennis or sports or gardening. But what is really remarkable, and I haven't worked this out, and I always dig and dig, and I will get to the bottom of it. I'll speak to some of the experts that I do know, but it also supports sciatica. And sciatica is a nerve pain, it's not a muscle pain. And the first time I discovered was about sciatica and eucalyptus oil being something that can actually support and help, is that when my father was unable to even do his shoelaces up because he had the sciatica would shoot up and down his legs and in his back, and he wasn't even able to bend. And I thought, well, let's give him some of the eucalyptus oil. Maybe it could help, because I know that cinnamon oil is very good in terms of muscle pain, joint pain. It warms the system and it helps to reduce inflammation. So I thought, well, this reduces inflammation. Let's see. It was about, 2-3 weeks later, after having a conversation with my father, that he perhaps was going to give up driving, and how horrible he felt with this deliberating condition. He drives up to my home in a sporty red new car. I couldn't believe it. I had to tell my son, look at Granddad. And my stepmother can't get in the car, and she's cursing all the time. You know, it's his car, let him, you know, he's obviously now thought, well, you know, he couldn't have it now. Now he can have this great car. And my neighbour as well, who, on chatting to her, suffers with sciatica, I offered it to her and thought, well, maybe it might work for her too. And it does. And I make this oil for her all the time. She's recently had a fall and her foot's swollen, and there are herbs and this oil that I'm going to give to her again. But most recently, I have a lady who came to me about a recently diagnosed condition of rheumatoid arthritis. Hello, Cheryl. And she had come to me to ask whether there was something I could recommend. And that was the first thing that I had thought of. On using the oil, she had this to say, and I want to play her story again in her own words.
I've been suffering for a long time, having pain. Usually my wrists would swell, my feet, my fingers, and I couldn't hardly do anything, hold heavy things. I have been diagnosed with inflammation in my blood and having arthritis. I have to say I was lucky. By the time I was diagnosed, I met Carol and I talked through my symptoms with her. Then she introduced me with the oil that she makes herself, and I was thrilled to use the oil because I use it every day. I even bring it at work with me, so every time I wash my hands, I just apply the oil again and again, and within a month, I could see the difference, because suddenly one morning I came and I just said, Carol, you know, I had to share something with you. Walking from home to the station, and I was going uphill, and I could see something different about myself, and I couldn't figure out what it is. And then I remembered I don't have my pain in my calf anymore, and I was just walking like I used to before. And And also my fingers got better. It's not that painful. And since then, I've recommended the oil to so many of my relatives and friends, even my husband. If he has pain, I say, come on, let's apply this oil. And it does work, because also I want to prove it to other friends and families that, it's something so natural, and you don't have to go to eating tablets or putting things in your body, but it can be done with natural herbs and all, and within the nature. There's so many things that can heal ourselves within the nature. And I'll be using it again and again. So thank you to Carol.
Well, thank you to Mother Nature, I think. And this is Shandia Chua. She's the Deputy Manager at Harmony Neighbourhood Nursery, which is a local private nursery where I'm head chef. And Shandia is a vegetarian. And when she'd first come to me about her problem, we reviewed her diet and we cut out dairy. We cut out starchy foods like white rice, conventional wheat. And she embarked on an alkaline diet because we need to detox, as you were saying, to obviously accelerate the healing process. So there is an element of clean eating going on, as well as her using the oil as well. And before she was even eating clean, she was getting results, but it's got better and better. And that's the result of having used the eucalyptus oil that I make in my garden. From my garden, in my kitchen, Carol's Organic Kitchen. Everything's made there. So that leads me on to the next part of this workshop, where we're going to look at these natural solutions as to how we can make our own natural products. So I'm going to do a demonstration where I'm going to show you how you can make your own natural products at home.